Welcome back to our inside look at the Falcon football program. Everything cadets go through, every challenge overcome, every hardship endured while at the academy, all of it forms the foundation from which these future Air Force officers will launch their careers. It's a foundation that owes its strength to the academy's guiding principles. Once again, here's Staff Sergeant Nicholas Kurtz.
Integrity first, service before self, excellence in all we do. These have always been the core values of the Air Force Academy, even before they were adopted service-wide to become the Air Force core values. The entire campus is adorned with reminders of the character cadets must display and of the value of their experiences here. The Eagle and Fledgling statue is an enduring symbol of the Air Force Academy. It's marked with an inscription that reads, "Man's flight through life is sustained by the power of his knowledge." For Air Force Academy football players, it pertains to knowledge gained both on and off the field.
I think being out here is definitely a huge tool for for the future, going in the Air Force. I mean, I think you get leadership skills down here that you just can't teach, and I think it will definitely carry over.
What they go through out there, the teamwork, the leadership, the brotherhood, the ability to have to take in situations and in small amounts of time make something out of nothing. I think those carry over to the classroom, carry over to when they get on active duty to be a leader. We're always going to be faced with problems and situations that, the coach didn't drop the blitz or the play correctly, but I got to make it work. Same thing in the real world. Things are going to happen in their organizations that it's not straight by the book. You got to improvise, and people are looking to them to make that decision and lead them. And I think that's a one-for-one transfer from the football field.
You go through a lot of stuff here, and you grow with friends. You grow through the experiences that you have here. So, I mean, I think that's the biggest takeaway I've had is the friends you develop here.
Playing in the NCAA, in the major stadiums across the country, it puts pressure on athletes to perform. A lot of it's the same type of pressure you experience out on active duty and the decisions you have to make from time to time. I think probably the biggest thing I gained from that was the friendship and the camaraderie with my teammates. These are guys who have been lifelong friends and always will be.
Wherever office they go into and whatever career field they work into, they're going to make an impact because they're not sit on the bench kind of guys and wait for something to happen. If you don't give them enough, they're going to ask for more. And when you give them more, that's not going to be enough. They're going to be hungry, they're going to be energized, and they're going to want to work and serve this nation.
Down, sight. That's it. Great punch. Great punch. Good, Weiss. That's the way, Weiss. What up, boy? That's what I'm talking about. It's okay to whoop his butt every now and then.
Striving for excellence, both on and off the field, is the driving force for every Academy football player. But one recent graduate took that attitude to the extreme. So much so, in fact, that he now has to make a tough choice between two childhood dreams. Staff Sergeant Mike Hutchinson has his story.
Jet right, punch seam, on one, ready?
During his 4 years and 41 games at the Air Force Academy, Lieutenant Ben Garland wreaked havoc on opposing quarterbacks, tallying 117 tackles, 23 tackles for a loss, and 11.5 sacks. All this coming from a young man who wasn't exactly highly recruited coming out of high school.
Local kid from Grand Junction, came here, had no other Division I scholarships. No one else recruited him. Skinny kid, came here though and immediately worked hard. The leadership thing he hit right off the nail, and guys started to rally around him. Worked his tail off in the weight room.
And that hard work, determination, and leadership also served him well as a cadet, helping him earn a coveted pilot training slot. And as if being an Air Force pilot wasn't enough, Ben's skills on the football field turned a few heads at the next level, the National Football League.
His time at the Air Force Academy helped land him here with the Denver Broncos and a shot at becoming a pro football player. And so now this Falcon turned Bronco must undergo the rigors of an NFL training camp as he tries to live out a dream.
I grew up living in Grand Junction and born in Colorado Springs, and Broncos fan all my life. It's just a real dream come true being here.
Trying to make an NFL roster is no easy job, and for everyone out here it's their primary goal, and the only thing they have to worry about. That is everyone except for one Air Force lieutenant.
You got to put Air Force as your #1 priority, and right there, that's the most important thing. If they need you, that's where you got to go to, and then you do this when you can, in your personal time, and you take your personal leave and do that stuff.
And if you talk to his former academy teammates, they'll tell you that if anyone has what it takes to make it in the NFL, it's Ben Garland.
Great guy. I mean, he's a great, fun guy to be around. He's real humble. He works extra hard. And then on the field, his actions speak probably more than his words. He's just a beast.
Off the field, he's the nicest guy. He's the most laid-back guy like you could ever meet, and like he's a giant teddy bear. Like he won't hurt anybody. And on the field, you just look into his eyes, and he's just the most intense player, like probably on the field.
It was here on this very field that Garland helped cement that reputation. We spoke with Air Force Falcons head coach Troy Calhoun, who told us that Ben Garland is the type of player who won't let anything stand in his way.
Trainer came and told me Ben Garland broke the back of his hand. I said, okay, what's that mean? Is that 6 weeks? Is that 8 weeks? How long is it? And he said there's going to be some time that's involved. And I asked Ben, I said, Ben, look, now you need to understand there's going to be a period before you can probably even practice or be able to go on the whole bit. He says, no, there's not, Coach. I'll be out here tomorrow. And he played that Saturday on September 19th against New Mexico and played well, too. Played the whole year with a broken hand.
After hearing stories like that, it's no surprise that Ben is where he is today.
When I was a little kid, I wanted to be an Air Force officer and I wanted to be a pilot. I wanted to play the Broncos, and right now I have everything in front of me, and the question is where I'll go.
When he finishes his leave and goes through the camp, he'll be back here to work, be fully employed as a lieutenant in the Air Force. And if at some point down the road he's able to keep his skills up, I think the Denver Broncos would be mighty fortunate to have him as a player for them.
For now, Ben continues to work and try to make an impression with his Broncos coaches, just like he did during his 4 years at the Air Force Academy, until it's time for him to head back to the Air Force and either fulfill his commitment and leave for the NFL, or accept a pilot slot and begin his career as an Air Force officer. Staff Sergeant Mike Hutchinson, Colorado Springs, Colorado.
Lieutenant Garland follows in the footsteps of Academy great Chad Hennings, who became an Air Force pilot and also went on to become a star for the Dallas Cowboys. Maybe Lieutenant Garland can live both dreams after all. We'll let you know what he decides. That's going to wrap up this special edition of today's Air Force. The Air Force Academy plays 12 games this year, including games against ranked opponents in Oklahoma and Texas Christian. Follow their entire season at www.goairforcefalcons.com. From all of us here at Defense Media Activity in San Antonio, I'm Airman First Class Alina Richard. Enjoy the football seasons and go Falcons!